second. That notification says that we're on YouTube. Good afternoon here on KM Activities, your home for the Comets, as well as Dodge County Wildcat Hockey. And today is going to be a very, very special broadcast. We get to meet some of the Wildcats from Dodge County, the boys hockey team that just qualified for state just 2 days ago. And an amazing game. It was so much fun to be there and to just get to watch as a fan. I'm Joel McCall. We're going to plan on talking to 3 Wildcats plus the coach. First of all, across from me is Charlie Blaisdell, and Charlie's a senior from Castle Maryville. Charlie, thank you so much for stopping in and talking with me.
Thank you.
Well, I have you for 2 goals and 20 assists on the season. You're a defensive player. You don't score a ton, but you did get to score against Mankato West. I wanted you to talk about the game. Where does this thing rank when it comes to physicality? Because I thought the game was extremely physical, especially after maybe the first period or so, and then it really ramped up.
I definitely think this is probably, playoff hockey definitely gets a lot more physical. And you also see that in all different levels of hockey. And, playoff hockey gets another intensity, another level of physicality. And I think it's just everyone wants to win that bad, so you go start going harder.
Yeah, for sure. It just seemed like it was such a great game overall. Getting the win 4-3. You were the second goal. I got the assist from Lamb and Donovan. I myself included into this, but I also talked to a couple other people around me, and we thought, boy, you guys came out so hot. 7 the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
And we thought, did they just use up a lot of their energy? Did you guys feel that way too? Like, ooh, maybe we came out a little too strong.
I don't think we came out too strong. Obviously, we came out pretty hot. I think they started to realize what we're doing, and they made some good changes, which we were able to then overcome their changes. So.
Yeah, for sure. And then it got to be 2-2 at the
Yep.
end of the second, and then the third period 4-3. I think in the overall game, Donovan scored first. You scored the second. Donovan ended up with the third. The game winner came off of Lamb's stick. How about your season overall, too? I wanted to ask you a little bit about just being a locker room leader. You are a senior this year. What was it like to be in the locker room and trying to help these guys out and also be the vocal leader?
It was definitely – it's very easy with these guys. All of them, they love the game so much. They all know how to win. They all know how to play hockey. And it's just me kind of just guiding them in a way. I'm not there, telling them, I'm not being their boss. I'm just there the whole way, which I just love.
Yeah, for sure. And your vision, puck vision, I guess I would consider it, or ice rink vision, however you want to say it, and providing assists, because you do that so well and do it so often. I can't remember how many you had in your career. I think it's over 50 assists in your career. Talk about that development of your game, and then you obviously have to have chemistry with the offensive guys, even though you're a defensive player.
Yeah, so I definitely should say I'm a defensive defenseman. I just like to headman the puck as much as possible, and I guess that's always been the style I played since I was young. And so assists, they come a lot easier to me than goals do, for sure. But also this chemistry point, I've been playing with these group of kids since we were really young, so you always know when Brody's gonna be flying out of the zone, or when Matt's gonna be flying out of the zone, or I know where Matt's gonna be in front of the net. So all that is just, we play a lot together, so it helps a lot.
Yeah, and I know that you've done stuff off the Wildcat team too, because I think it was this past off season you were part of the Rochester Grizzlies.
Yep.
So how did that help your overall game, and what did it teach you?
So when I play with them, you're playing with kids from anywhere between 17 years old to 21 years old. So definitely that game becomes a lot faster, a lot stronger. I'm in the corners battling with some 21-year-old who's pretty strong, So now that when I bring that back to the high school, I'm able to be that strong guy, so I can start, out-muscling some of these weaker guys, which, because I was used to battling someone who was stronger. So being able to just keep on, go ahead and then come back, is big advancement.
Did you feel like you had to hit the weight room a little bit more then and build yourself up?
Yeah, I definitely say, yeah, I can tell. Normally I thought I was kind of a stronger guy in high school, but when you go there, I'm not the strong guy anymore. So I definitely, yeah.
Yeah, had to develop a little bit more. And I wanted to ask about your chemistry between Hamill and Dale as well, because obviously you guys have to be in constant communication. That's one thing that my wife always brings up the very interesting question. She goes, "How do they communicate? Like, how do you guys talk on the ice, and how much is talked with between you and Hamill and Isaac Dale?"
So a lot, I feel like, so East and I, we've been partners pretty much the whole season. And I feel like we're at the point now where we just kind of know each other's like instincts, and so we know where we're gonna be everywhere on the ice. But there's still a lot of talking that just happens. It's just little small things. Or either net, net, net. That means goal behind the net or D to D, obviously. And I think Dale, he just kind of he just reads and reacts mainly, and we just read and react off of him.
Yeah, it's not so much the communication
Yep.
between you and goalie. It's just kind of
Quick
read,
decisions,
react.
yeah.
Got it. And aside from the section title game, which obviously, if I ask the question of what is your favorite game from the year, the best game of the season, everybody's going to say that because it's got you to state.
Yep.
But this season as a whole, your schedule was much more challenging than it was a year ago.
Sure was.
So, did you feel like that ramping up that difficulty got you guys ready for sections? And what would you say is one of the better games out of the entire year?
I would say there was two games that really I think defined our team, and that was right away when we played Maple Grove. It was a tough loss, the 12-1, but I definitely think that taught a lot of our kids. We aren't the best ones around. There's still a lot to improve. And I got us going, but I think my favorite game of the season was against Little Falls, when we were able to go up there and then we beat them, who were a highly ranked team. And that kind of just showed our kids, like we've progressed this much throughout the year, and we're able to compete with these top dogs. So I think, yeah, that was definitely my favorite game of the year.
And Little Falls is another state qualifying
Yep.
team, too. They made it up there. And I'm going to ask this to every player that comes in here. And normally I wouldn't do that, but I think it's really important to get to the point of this is very special. This being on this team is very special. This is the first time that Dodge County has made the state playoffs and qualifying to be in the state tournament. How does that feel that you are a part of that team?
It honestly feels amazing, but it all kind of stems back from all those other kids who came through, who started to build the program just as much, all those kids that I looked up to when I was playing. It builds off each other. I'm hoping now we can keep on building so it becomes more and more teams are going.
Have you heard from previous DC Wildcats that say, like, congratulations, thank you for building off of what we
I've heard a couple, telling me, good luck and congrats. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's awesome. And tell me about your future. You're the only senior I'm supposed to talk to today. So where are you off to?
I'm not sure yet. I applied to several colleges, but I'm also looking at the junior hockey way too.
Okay.
So I guess it all depends what I get in these next month or so.
Yeah, you don't want to leave the rink, though, do you?
Yeah, I do not. Not one bit.
I figured that. Well, the state tournament starts on Tuesday. You guys play up at the XL Energy Center, and you're going to face Hermantown. That's at 6 p.m. on Tuesday night. What's the preparation like? I know you guys got practice here soon.
I think we'll just be going over our fundamentals. I think this game is going to be whoever can do the details the best. So if we can just work on our details these next couple practices, I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And Charlie did mention to me there's like 500 tickets that are out there, so hopefully there'll be a lot of Wildcats up there. And you can bring, as Terry Donovan says, the best student section in all of South Minnesota, or however he says it. They can all come up and watch it, right?
Yep.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Charlie. All right, we'll see if Coach is out there. You can roll. And we'll see if Coach Warden is out there. Or we might get another player. I don't even know who I'm talking to now. We wish Charlie the best. Again, defensive player. You bet, no problem. Defensive player for Dodge County. And then the state tournament, as I said, Tuesday night. Nobody out here yet? All right. We got one that's about to come into the office, so we'll continue. I know you're looking at a blank chair. I know how exciting that is for a stream. We're trying to make sure that we get everybody in here. Coach Warden's supposed to join us, Brody Lamb, and potentially, if he's walking in the door now, we're going to talk to the goalkeeper. I see a shadow. I see a shadow. Hey, have a seat. We're live on YouTube right now.
Oh, jeez.
I know. Pressure's on, Dale.
I've never done something.
All right, the Pine Island Panther and goalkeeper for Dodge County, then junior Isaac Dale, joins us and made 25 saves versus Mankato West. That's what I saw on the hub, but I actually think it was more saves than that. I think they shorted
Yeah.
you. I think it might have been more, shaking off the fact that the Scarlets tied it in the second period. We just talked with Charlie Blaisdell and going through and talking about how physical the game was against Mankato West. How about your mentality? Because your team gets you up 2-0, and then you come after the second period and they do even it up. They got a couple goals on you. What was the feeling like in the locker room, as well as just kind of your mentality heading into the third?
Yeah, after the first, we weren't playing our greatest that game, but we were up by 2. We were feeling good, and then second they popped a couple, but we had to stay up and just do our best to support each other. We had some talks with each other just to try to get each other to get back in it and do our best.
Was it nervous for you? Obviously, a lot of people are going to say, well, you tripped on the ice coming out at the beginning of the game. You shook that off, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But did you kind of laugh at yourself at that?
Yeah, I always stumble or do something at the beginning of the game. Like the game before that, I was going around the net and I almost ate it again. So it happens all the time to me. So it's.
But did you feel the nerves to come into that game and know like what's on the line?
Oh yeah, we've never been in this position before, so it's something new for all of us. So I had to come out and do the best I could.
For sure. Well, one thing that your game overall, especially this season, I think you ramped it up another notch and your save percentage is better and everything else. But I do want to go to the very end of the game. There was quite a few shots that the Scarlets put on. You know, how are you seeing the puck, making a couple of key stops? You knew you probably knew that they're going to make a run at you.
Yeah, they came at me and I just kind of challenged it and made sure to watch it all the way in, and it worked. They had a couple 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, made a couple saves. It was fun.
Yeah, there was some really nice saves at the very end. And I'm going to ask you a kind of an odd question, but I watched at the end of that game. My wife and I kind of sat on the Mankato West side only because that's where Todd was filming for Prep Spotlight. And I watched as a Mankato West goalie took a long time to get off the ice. And I know that it was so disappointing. Did you have that similar feeling last year against Mankato East? And is that just something a goalie has to deal with?
Yeah, that's we know that there's a couple saves that we knew we could have made and that could have changed the outcome of the game. So it's really tough. And he was a senior. I've done stuff with that kid in the summer, and I know it's been hard for him. So, and it happened to him last year in the section finals. So I just know it's hard, and his final game as a Scarlet, hard to get over.
Yeah, for sure. Is that a mental thing too of okay, I have to kind of erase that because, especially for you, like saying from last year to this year, did you go back and watch Mankato East game?
I watched it a couple times. I went on the news, the KTTC, watched that, and just looked at what I could do better for that game to improve this year.
Yeah. And I think that's unbelievable because it's so cool that you do that because, again, it can be such a mental thing of, oh, I should have stopped that one. I could have saw that one. But 4 shutouts this season, save percentage around .875. You made 350 saves. Do you feel that you have a better grasp of the net this year?
Yeah, I feel like this year's been better overall. I've had a couple bad games, especially Cathedral and Maple Grove. Those have been 2 hard ones for me, but I feel like other games I've been able to battle hard and make some saves.
It helps that your teammates are scoring even more than they were last year, for sure. I want to know about your I asked Blaisdell about this, too, is that chemistry with the defensive duos that are out there, like Blaisdell and Hamill and McPeak and everyone else that plays defense. How do you communicate with them? And what do you point out things during the game? Is that mainly at breaks?
Yeah, that's something I've had to been working on lately. I started not being very communicative, and I've tried to be I know when Easton and Charlie are on the ice and what they like to do compared to Ethan and James, and I just have to learn to communicate well with both of them pairs.
Well, I know that a lot of the guys do stuff outside of Dodge County, and they play on different leagues. And I asked Blaisdell about the Rochester Grizzlies and whatnot. How about you? What were you working on in the off season? Because I didn't see that you played on a performance team or anything.
I haven't. So there was a league that we did up in the cities. That's a bunch of Dodge kids. That was just for fun. But throughout summer, I go up to the cities and I do some different goalie clinics with. It's called TGC. They do camps at Shattuck and different stuff. So I've got to work with them the past few years, and that's how I've been doing stuff in the summer and off season.
Yeah, very cool. And so, and I was going to ask about, did you feel that there was a turning point to your season individually this year as opposed to last year? Just because you said, well, I had a couple of rough games, but here lately, I mean, you're stopping a lot, and the team's playing hot, and you're on a big old winning streak as you were last year. Did you feel like there was kind of a turning point?
Yeah, I feel like after we lost to Mayo, that really hurt us a lot. So I feel like after that, we really thought we had to ramp it up, and from then on, we've been rolling. It's been awesome.
That was such a tough game. I covered that game, and I remember that one. That was tough. And one thing I'm asking every individual that comes in here, because, as I said, to Blaisdell, this is the first time that Dodge County's made state. How do you feel that you're a part of that team?
Yeah, it's awesome. We've never done this before, and it's something big. Like, me and my brother, we've been wishing this for a long time, and after the game, he was so excited, and it was just awesome to see.
I was going to ask you about that, playing with your brother, too. I mean, that's got to be one of the most thrilling things and aspects for you.
Yeah, like, growing up, I was on different teams, and since I switched to goalie, we've been on the same team, and it's just been awesome. We've got some good chemistry going. We yell at each other sometimes, but that's how brothers work.
Yeah. Is there times where at home that he's like, grab your glove? I want to try and slap a few past you?
Especially during like quarantine, we did a lot of that. Like, hey, come on, let's go. Let me shoot some pucks on you. And I was like, all right.
I love it. That's awesome. Well, what's your preparation like for next week? And because I know you guys play Hermantown, they're really, really good. I think they're the top seed in the tournament.
Yeah, I just plan on watching a few of their games, watching how they work, their cycles, and then just getting my mind focused so I can make all the saves I can.
Before you come out, prior to a game, do you have a specific preparation that you do?
I try to stick with it. I got different ball drills, different stretches with a couple of the boys, and we stick to that every game.
Yeah, that's one thing about any goalie, your flexibility. That you have to be. I mean, you got to get down all the way. You butterfly out. You're doing everything. Yeah. So you could almost be gymnastics. You know that?
Almost.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys do coming up on Tuesday night. I congratulate you on all your success. It's been an amazing season and so fun to watch. I was only at a couple of games, unfortunately, because I was doing a lot of basketball too, but always catching up on the KM Activities YouTube channel. And if you haven't gotten a chance, go back and watch some of the games that the boys have had. You have all weekend, get you set for Tuesday night. And Isaac Dale, thank you so much for popping in. Congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. See if your old coach is out there
all
now.
Right.
Or Lamb, one or the other.
All right.
And that's Isaac Dale then, Jr., Pine Island. Like you said, his brother's on the team too. He's going to prom. I saw that. That was a big video out there. We'll see if anybody else is out. As again, the tournament starts on Tuesday night at the XL Energy Center. They're going to take on Hermantown at 6 p.m. You'll be able to see that on Channel 45. I think Prep Spotlight also, I think, streams the games. So if nobody else is out, we might break and we'll do a part 2 of our interviews, as we're supposed to have Coach Warden as well as Brody Lamb. So I'm not seeing anybody out in the office currently. And so we'll take a break and we'll see if part 2 will be coming up here on the KM Activities YouTube channel, as we talked with Isaac Dale and Charlie Blaisdell. And hopefully we'll have Coach Warden and Brody Lamb coming up here shortly here on KM Activities.